We grew up together. So we played Little League football together. So he knew my whole name, right? He knew my address. He knew everything he needed to know to be like, hey, this is who I am, blah, blah. But I guess it kept building up to where the fact was he was always using my name, getting in trouble or whatever, which it may have been small. But it led up to, hey, you got to go to court. And I wasn't going to court because I wasn't the one getting in trouble.
Welcome to another episode of the True Life Network podcast. I'm your host, Mike Ashabi, and today I have an awesome guest for you guys. Today's guest is an American professional football wide receiver and kick returner who was signed by the Dallas Cowboys as an undrafted free agent in 2015. He has also played for the New York Jets and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and is currently playing for the BC Lions of the Canadian Football League. Ladies and gentlemen, today I bring to you the 2021 CFL and West Division All-Star, the one and only Lucky Whitehead. Lucky, thanks for joining me, brother.
No problem, man. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Bro, so I want to talk to you about something. You are currently the highest paying wide receiver in the Canadian Football League right now. How does it feel?
It's a blessing. Just everything that I've been through and what I've been going through, it's just love to be wanted. Everything with like just being just the naysayers, you know what I mean? And for myself, just being able to negotiate and have the upper hand, you know what I mean, from the season, this previous season at least, to be able to negotiate that was a big deal for me.
So talk to me a little bit about the journey, because I know a little bit about your story, which we're going to dive into, right? 6 months ago, you were actually negotiating to get into the league in Canada, correct?
Correct.
So what was the process like going, from 6 months ago, trying to negotiate your way in, and then getting to the point where you're the highest paid wide receiver?
Right. So that story, in 2019, I had went to Winnipeg. Started off hot. I was having a great season. We ended up winning the whole thing, won the Grey Cup. Towards the end, I had got stitches in my foot, so I was out for a little bit. And then I didn't finish the season playing, so I didn't get to play in that championship game. But I felt like I contributed enough to, it was still a great celebration. Come 2020, COVID hit very, very heavy. So they canceled our season. And I was just training. I was going hard. And I'll backtrack for a second. In 2019, I had came out here. I actually came down to South Florida. And I was still celebrating for my Grey Cup win. So I was going on the bench. I was drinking for like a week straight, right? Just partying, having fun. And I just started feeling like, I looked at myself and I just felt a little sluggish. So I slowed down and I told myself I was going to stop drinking for 30 days while I trained, right? And when COVID hit, it was like, okay, you could either start drinking again, because nothing was really open, so I was like, okay, figure it out. I ended up going a year and 5 months. No alcohol. My body changed tremendously. I was always self-talking doing workouts as far as like, I can't wait till 2021 to get back out there, because I'm stronger, I'm faster, I'm a lot smarter. My body's clean. And we started negotiating contracts, and I wanted to test free agency and just to make a business decision as far as for my career. I needed to go earn that highest paid contract.
Do you think that the whole factor of you taking a break from drinking was the thing that propelled you to the position that you're right now?
Definitely. My mindset was a lot stronger. Uh,
Now, did you see other guys in in the league, going ahead and still partying and taking that time and basically taking advantage of it to, kind of kick back and take a break?
I would say um, going into camp, I just felt like it was a lot of unknown. We never had like a set date of when we were going to go back to playing football. So most people were doing like regular jobs. Some people were training, some people just trying to make ends meet, right? And I kind of just put all my time into training, right? And I had just so much free time. Like I said, I was self-talking, and positive self-talk was taking me a long
Like
way,
affirmations?
right? So
Yeah.
I had seen things that I was doing that season that I was playing in my head in the gym, right?
You gotta see it before you could put it
Yeah,
out there,
so
bro.
it was crazy. And then like going into the season, a lot of guys were getting hurt, and you're like, "What's that for?" Because they didn't know that they were gonna have a season, right? They didn't get to train yet. They didn't get to really grind. And I was going hard. I was in the gym by 4:30 every day. I got my weekends just to kind of relax, but I was still kind of going sporadically. But during the week, I was going hard. You feel me? So coming into camp, I felt, indestructible. Like I felt stronger. Like I said, I felt faster and everything. And it was a new team, new face, right? So it was a lot of whispers around, okay, what Lucky Whitehead gonna be, like what he's gonna do. And then they put me at a position where I had to kind of be the number one receiver as far as in that position that I was in. I was on the ball, I wasn't, and it was just like, okay, you're doing a lot more routes. So I had to show people that I can actually run routes, right? And I can actually catch the football, not just a return man. And the season started, and it kept going, right? It just kept. I just like after games, I wasn't feeling sore. I wasn't feeling fatigued.
You think the other players were?
They had to be, and at least whoever was guarding me was definitely, you know what I mean. But uh, like I said, I was going super hard, and then some adversity hit. I think it was like week 7, maybe. I broke my hand, right? So then I was like, dang, I'm having the best season, of my career. And what's next? Like I felt like I've done enough, right, to show people he's legit. And I mean, which I did, but I was just like, I was distraught because like I had more goals, I had more numbers I needed to hit, and yeah, I broke my hand October 1st. I had surgery October 6th. I came back 3 weeks later and played.
So you
All
don't
right.
let it hold you back.
Nah, but I mean, I wasn't. It was just hard to watch my teammates out there. You know what I mean? And just going through what they were going through, I was just trying to like, I need to be back out there. You know what I mean?
So to get back in that time frame, what were you telling yourself? Because I know a lot of people, that would get injured, right?
Right.
Go have surgery and whatnot, and then they'll take more time, than someone like you who's immediately going right back in, right? And I don't know if you know who David Goggins is. He's like the toughest man on the planet. He's known as. He's done like 117-mile runs, things like that. He was a Navy SEAL. But I remember him talking about he broke his or he did something with his Achilles tendon and
Tore it,
he
probably.
tore it,
Yeah.
correct? And he actually still continued the race when he had like 20 miles left.
Yeah.
So that kind of reminds me of that portion, but I want to know what was the internal dialogue? What were you telling yourself to kind of just get yourself back in that position to go out there and perform?
Yeah. I had, it's funny because my family had actually came into town that week, right? That same game I broke my hand. And as soon as the play had happened, uh, I took a nice shot, a helmet to my hand, and I felt it immediately, right? I tried to shake it off, and I was in the mix of going to the sideline or getting back in the huddle. And I was like, I can't. So I jogged off. And he was like, what's the problem? I was like, my hand. Like I took a helmet to the hand, whatever. Go inside, we get an x-ray. It was broken, right? And this was actually, we were playing against Winnipeg, right? So I'm like, I gotta play, right? It's my old team. I got a ball. And once I got the x-ray, I was like, I asked the doctor, I was like, can I get some meds? Can you give me a shot, give me some meds, tape it, and I'll go back out there. His words exactly, he was like, well, you can't do no worse to it, right? You probably could have, but I was like, right. So let's do it. And I could barely get a glove on. So my hand had already puffed up. And I ended up getting like a 2X glove, and like we had to cut it. We put it on, and I couldn't even like I couldn't catch anything, right? But I was trying. I went back in the game, and coach finally gave me a call where I was getting the ball. And at that point, once I knew I couldn't contribute, I took myself out the game, and I just told myself I'll be back in this 3 weeks, because we had a bye week after that. So we played that game, we was off that next weekend. We played 2 games, and then I said, I'm coming back. I said the moment I'm able to catch a football, like I'm able to just squeeze a little bit,
You're right back.
I'm coming back. And that was the case. I was doing everything that I had to do. I was doing my rehab outside of what my trainers told me to do. And I was paying that extra money so I could be back out there. And that's what I did. And, it definitely paid off for myself, because here I am 6 months later.
Still crushing it, man. Highest paid wide receiver
right
now in
you know what I mean?
CFL.
So, and that's crazy, because like I still got a bunch of guys on that Winnipeg team. And just the fact that the talks that we used to have with each other was like, we want to be the best, right? But we just, you're always chasing it.
100%.
And I would see the guys just like, let me see who was the highest paid this previous season, right? And let me put my numbers next to his numbers and see what's up.
What was going on internally, though? I think when somebody gets hurt and they kind of want to sit back, right? But you were determined to go back in and still get to the position where you are now, right? What was going on internally that you said, hey, no matter what, I'm going for it, even if I'm in pain?
No, yeah, it was when it first happened, obviously, and once I found out it was broke, and once I got to sit down and really like let it all sink in and dial in with me, I was like, what the hell? Like, I've been grinding. Like, why?
Not gonna let it go.
What I mean? Like, why this happened to me, right? And it was an unfortunate shot, but it was I couldn't let it dwell, right? I couldn't sit on that, and I didn't want to go into a dark place, which is easy to go in when something happens, right?
That victim mentality.
Right. And I started to tell myself, like, it's gonna be cool once you get this surgery. We got, we got the puzzle, we got the pieces to place this to come back faster than when we need to. And I ended up, like I said, I was going to this hyperbolic chamber, supposed to increase healing. I was just doing the most to help the situation, right? And I was going hard in rehab, and it was giving me a sense of, okay, I'm slowly seeing progression, right? So once that happened, I was like, okay, I might make this I might be able to come back in 3 weeks, whatever. Let's see.
You saw the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. It was tough though, man. It was like, what are you gonna do right now, right? I could have pouted, or we gotta start grinding again.
Was there any point in time where, while you were, going through the rehab and, where you had that doubt, like, hey, maybe I won't be back in 3 weeks?
Well, when I first left surgery, I talked to the doc, and he was like, I want to do a follow-up visit. See you next week. I need you to make a fist. I couldn't make a fist until like 2.5 weeks.
So you were like on the cusp of not
Right.
going
So
back.
it was times I was in the shower, like I'm pushing my fist against the wall just to get it to bend. And it was tough. So like when I seen him for the follow-up visit and he was like, I need you to make a fist, I'm like, I already knew going in, I'm like, damn, he probably gonna say you're not where I need you to be, blah, blah. And I was just like, I was a little shook. But like I said, I was dealing with my trainer in rehab. It was one day at a time. And I think it was that third week, that Monday is when I started. I think it was that Monday we started just adding in cardio because I couldn't run because I couldn't put my hand down because the blood flow. And I was like, well, that was my first day running. So then the next day we started adding the football. That was Tuesday. I needed to be cleared by Thursday.
Counting down the time.
Right?
Yep.
So this is my first day on Monday, just running. I'm tired. I'm dog tired. I haven't ran since my surgery. I'm like, well, getting after it, right? Tuesday we started throwing. Wednesday we threw a little more, but this time we recorded. Because Thursday morning I was going to go see the doc. I had to show him I could catch a football. Mind you, I still couldn't make a fist.
So you're catching it like in your
No,
arm right here?
Like I told you, all I needed to do was this. I don't need to make a fist to catch a football, right? I needed to just...
I mean, it's somewhat of like the posture, but I get what you're
this
saying.
part, I needed to do this. That's all you do right here. And then I just put the ball in my left hand.
All right.
And I needed to show the doc that I could catch the ball. He was like, okay, cool. We recorded it. I showed the doc. He was like, how you feel? I was like, I'm good. We took the x-ray. I still had a broken hand, but he was like, I'm not worried about the screws that's in there. Like I put enough metal in there that I don't think that's going to be the problem. Now, if you fall hard on it again or you take that shot again, that's a different ball game. And he gave me that risk, and I was willing to take it.
See, to me, what that sounds like, it comes from something internal, right? The drive, right? To really push yourself to, all limits to go out there and perform even when you're not, feeling 100%, right?
Yeah.
Which comes down to discipline. And for anybody who follows you on Instagram, bro, I feel like you're always in the gym. You're always going hard. I want to know a little bit about the discipline that you put yourself through. The training that you go through. What does a typical training session look for Lucky Whitehead?
So, like when I went back, if we backtrack, when I started, I said positive self-talk all the time. So I'll go into places where, like, I'll self-talk, and I'm in there grinding with, say, me and you in the gym, we both grinding, right?
You
and you
definitely
like,
outwork me in the gym.
You'll be like, how many sets we doing here, or how many reps? And I'm like 10. Like I'm telling you 10, right? I'm gonna let you go first, but I'm gonna do 11. Cause I don't want you to be better than me. Like we still gonna be grinding.
It's the competitiveness.
But like, are you paying attention that I did 11? I'm not gonna tell you that I did 11, right? So like,
it's like internal battle, like internal competition.
Yeah. So even if I'm running or we got to do abs and I'm not looking around, whatever. But like I'm tired, I'm hurting, my body hurt, whatever. I'm thinking the trainer trying to break me, and self-talking myself like he can't. Like you won't break me. And I mean that's why I come down to South Florida. I mean I got a great trainer in Virginia as well. But I'm able to get out here on the field and just grind in that heat like there's no tomorrow.
It's funny that you're talking about the trainer and the mentality. Okay, he's trying to break me, right?
Right.
Because I think even as I was talking to you about David Goggins, he used that same mentality. He was saying that he's gonna endure and suffer to ultimately get to the position he wants, right? To have the physique, the mental toughness, right? And I think that gives you a huge advantage, especially in the industry that you're in, because I feel like a lot of people, they come out of college, they go into the league, and they have a couple good seasons and stuff, but it takes that mindset to keep going even when you get a few wins and not let that kind of like set you back, right?
For sure.
So, I mean, like, what are things that, when you feel like you want to step back for a second, what are things that you utilize, like what are the affirmations that you tell yourself to not let yourself fall back?
Yeah, so I mean, for myself, I do like, I'll be completely honest with you right now. Like, I don't care if it's negative, right? I gotta really dig deep for something, right? So I'll take myself somewhere dark. Like,
Bro, I feel like I'm talking to David Goggins right now. This is literally what he talks about. You got to go through the dark to get to the light, bro.
So I go through I'll just take myself somewhere dark, whether it be just something bad happened in my life that I've dealt with and overcame, or just the success that I've seen, somewhere I want to go, right? Or I'll just straight up, like, if I'm tired, I'm going through something, I'll start bouncing around, and then I'm still talking like, let's go, right? And it just helped me boost myself up. So like
it's that want, that drive once again.
You know what I mean?
I mean, but what is it that, okay, besides the competition, besides, working with a team and whatnot,
yeah,
what is it that you want out of your career? What is it that you want to fulfill? And, what's that inner driving, piece for you that keeps you going?
Yeah, man, I want to leave an impact, for the young boys around my city. Around the world. Due to me going to Canada, like, I want to be like, hey, I want to do what Lucky was doing. I want to train like Lucky was training. Like, I didn't have that growing up. As far as like, hey, I want to be like him.
Role models,
right? And it's tough to be like, when you're in that little limelight, you got people looking up to you, so you always got to be sharp.
100%.
So that's why, like, if I wake up and it's like, oh, Lucky ain't posting no workouts today, or Lucky ain't smiling today, so it's just like, what's wrong, right? He's going through something? Nah, I just having a little break. That's just for myself. So like, if it's times I'll deactivate my Instagram just to give myself a mental break from seeing nothing pretty much sometimes, right? Just to get away from it. But I'm still grinding. You feel me? So I just want to be able to leave that impact for like I said, that younger generation coming up, to being like, hey, I can get there. Yeah, you can. You know what I mean? And I made every mistake possible, right? But I don't regret nothing. I'm having a great career. Feel me? I had a great life. I got a great life. Like.
So do you look at them as mistakes then?
What?
Just, things that have happened in your life, your career.
Yeah.
I always tell everybody there's no mistakes in life, because it leads you right to where you need to be, right? And that's just my opinion. But I want to know your take on that. Do you think that, the adversity that you've been through, the, hiccups or whatever that people would say, do you think that, it was a mistake?
No, I don't. I wouldn't call it a mistake. I would say it was lessons for myself. Like, it helped me grow as a man that I am today. You know what I mean? As far as on the field and off the field. Like I said, I had the best season of my career at 29. Right? They say that's kind of like the peak time right here, 29, 30, 31. I'm at my like peak. But like, I'm getting smarter, right? So I'm knowing how to move. People I'm surrounding myself with. It's just all those lessons brought me right here, right at this moment. And like I said, I lost a lot to come back and be the highest paid receiver. Like,
let's go.
You know what I mean?
I think that word lessons is honestly the most important part of it, right? Because most people, things happen and then they let it get to them, as you were saying, dwell in it, right? Even with, if you got injured, rather than sitting there and dwelling in it, you take it and you learn from it. Okay, hey, this is, what happened, and it helps you grow because at the end of the day, it comes down to knowledge,
Right.
right? If you don't go through those experiences, you're not going to actually have true knowledge. You're going to be moving based off assumption.
Right.
And knowledge, the only true knowledge is through your experiences because you lived it, right? So, I mean, like, let's talk about a little bit about starting from, your career, working with the Dallas Cowboys, working with the Jets. How has that shaped you to where you are now, being the highest paid receiver for the CFL?
It was 2015, right? I had a good college career.
Which he went to
FAU, Florida Atlantic University.
There you go.
I had went to Dean College before that, junior college out in Massachusetts. Transferred, went to FAU. Like I said, I had a great career there. And I had left school, went to Ohio, started training, got ready for my pro day and whatnot. And I was really grinding because I know I was a smaller receiver, right? At the time,
physically built?
Yeah. I was coming out of college, I was maybe 170, but I was playing at like 165 type of deal. I went to Ohio, started training. Most of the scouts were saying he needed to gain a little bit of weight, blah, blah, blah. I did that. My pro day, I killed it. I skipped to the draft day. I was getting a ton of calls, and nobody was pulling the trigger. It was just a ton of calls. A lot of people like, we want you, blah, blah. I'm like, cool. Well, you want me to draft me, right? Draft had ended. It got a bunch of calls. I was going back and forth with teams, and I just felt like my best opportunity was in Dallas at the time. And I was grinding when I got there because they had already had their core receivers, and they had an opening for one more receiver, right? And they brought in, I think it was probably 5 to 6 of us as rookies. So I'm like, well, we all get close, we cool, right? But at the end of the day, like our receiver coach said, it was like, we only got space for one of y'all.
Cool. So going in, were you determined to get to that top spot there?
Cool. Cool. Once he said that, I'm like, cool. I'm going to know everything. As far as the receivers, I'm going to know my spot because they put you in like places. Hey, you're a slot receiver. You're this person. And I was like, I'm going to know all of them. If somebody go down, I'm going to know it. Right? And that ended up happening. Like, we were down to like 2 rookie receivers during our mini camp. And I was just thrown in. They obviously know that's not his spot, boom, boom. But hey, he know what the hell he doing. The more you can do is definitely a good thing in the NFL. So yeah, I ended up making the team, and I had a great rookie season. Came back my second season. It was kind of the same deal, even though I wasn't a rookie no more. They brought in other guys, obviously, to compete with you, and you got to just make the team all over again. Did that. Because, like, you trying to take food off my plate in my mind. Yes, we can be cool. For your life. Right. Yes, we can be cool. Yes, we can hang out. Yes, we can be friends, whatever. But you're not about to outwork me out here on this field. I'm going to know what I'm doing, everything. And I got the job. I got my second season. We had preseason game. And that's when St. Louis Rams had moved to LA. So they became LA Rams. It was the first game back in the Coliseum. And it was big talk about what are they going to do about special teams, what are they going to do with Lucky Whitehead. First, that kick return, I ran it back 101 yards. That talk was done. What are they going to do with special teams and what they're going to do with Lucky Whitehead. So my second season, I had another good year. And that's when stuff started getting real funky.
Let's get into the funky,
bro.
Let's talk to me. Give me the Lucky Whitehead story, bro.
Yeah, no, it was
Bring the truth to the table so everybody can actually know, hey, you know what?
Right.
This is me.
It was like every year, once I had gotten to the NFL, I started hosting these camps. And I had went to the camps were in Virginia. I went back to home for the Virginia for my camp. And camp was successful. I went out that night, got back on the flight, came back to Texas. Like a few weeks later, we were headed out to Oxnard, California for training camp. And our first like walk through practice, I'm on the field. I got my Apple Watch on. And if you know about Apple Watch, if you're close enough to your phone, you'll still get messages. And I had got a message like, yo, you good? And it just kept going off. Yo, what's going on? Hope you're straight, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, what happened? Right? I come off the field and one of the media guys had grabbed me and was like, hey, don't say nothing to the media, just keep walking. I'm like, all right. And one of the reporters had kind of ran up to me and was like, how do you feel about that arrest warrant you have in Virginia? And I was like, what?
This is where things get spicy.
You know what I mean? I was like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? So I just keep walking, and we're just trying to figure things out. And
was that like a shock to you? Like,
of course, it was a shock.
Arrest
Arrest warrant.
What were you thinking? Like, coming right off the field.
I was thinking once she said that, I'm like, did I do something when I went out that night that no one said something about? Right? I was like, with my boy, like I'm just like, I don't know what happened, right? So I'm just trying to figure out what this arrest warrant is about. And they was like, hey, yeah, they said you got an arrest warrant for shoplifting at a Wawa.
And you heard that from a reporter?
No, they just said the arrest warrant.
Okay.
I heard this from like the actual team at this point. And I was like, shoplifting? What do I need to shoplift for, right? That's the first question. That's the first thing I said. What do I need to shoplift for? And we just kept going back and forth, and my head coach was just talking about things that were irrelevant to the situation. So he wanted to he started asking questions about my family and just things that just didn't make sense.
Do you think they were accusing you too?
Yeah. Like I said, my first 2 seasons wasn't like flowers and rainbows, right? I was going out, whatever.
Celebrating a little bit,
Right. I was
enjoying it.
23, coming out of college. I made a America's team, but it was just like they were trying to find a way to get me out the door, but they knew they weren't gonna get it off of somebody beating me out from my work ethic. Like that wasn't gonna be the case. And I was just like, why is this even relevant? And why are we going through all that? Like, why are we talking about my family right now? Right. And coach said, yeah, well, we had somebody that, like a lawyer or something, that seen the tapes and seen that it was you that was shoplifting, blah, blah. I'm like, it was not me, first of all. So we're going to figure this out, blah, blah. But he had already made up his mind as far as like, we're going to release you. I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, and I looked coach in his eye like, the truth going to come out that it wasn't me shoplifting, but I appreciate y'all, blah, blah, blah. Like 3 hours later, maybe, I'm in because they got me a little black truck, packed my stuff up. I went to, I was going to LAX. And on the way to LAX, it came out that it wasn't me, that somebody was impersonating me. The guy didn't even look like me. He had tattoos on his neck, face, lighter than me, didn't have dreads.
And they still kicked you off the team.
Right? I was already cut. Like that mind was already made up, regardless. And what bothered me was like, the coach kept saying like, you pissed away a great opportunity. And I'm like, It's so much I wanted to say, but I didn't want to be, you know what I mean? I didn't want to be,
You don't want to be that
you know,
person.
right? You don't want to be disrespectful because
Yep.
you're just like, I got to go find another job. It's his word versus my word. I'm just like, okay.
So real quick though, I want to touch on this because they identified you, but it wasn't you, right?
Yeah, no, yeah.
So how do you think that mistake happened?
The guy that they thought, right, was me or whatever, was a close friend of mine. We grew up together. So we played Little League football together. So he knew my whole name, right? He knew my address. He knew everything he needed to know to be like, hey, this is who I am, blah, blah. But I guess it kept building up to where the fact was he was always using my name, getting in trouble or whatever, which may have been small. But it led up to, hey, you got to go to court. And I wasn't going to court because I wasn't the one getting in trouble. I didn't know about it. And when it came out and I seen who it was, I was just like, I offered to help you. So for you to do that to me, bro, it's just like.
So, this is a childhood friend. After the situation that happened, did it make you not trust people anymore? Because for me, I'll tell you honestly.
For sure, no. Definitely a little standoffish, you know what I mean? It's like, now you got to really watch, right? But they always say it's like the people closest to you, right? And it was just like, it hurt, right? It was bad because it's like, bro, you messing with my livelihood. And now this is out there as far as like, you already know how social media works. As soon as that hit that I'm shoplifting, oh, I got drilled. And I was like, that's not even my character, right? And I've been here for 2 seasons. Y'all been paying me for 2 seasons. Why would I shoplift for beer and I think like hot dogs or something weird? Like, why would I shoplift for that? Like, and I was telling coach, like, this got to be life or death. Like, if I'm stealing something, like, and I couldn't really plead my case because I was just like distraught at the fact that, like, I've been around you for 2 years now. Now you questioning my character as far as like me shoplifting. And it was tough, it was a tough pill to swallow. And I just had to move on.
So it was a lesson there.
Definitely a lesson. Cause like I said, I was young going into the league and I was a yes man. Right? The money was coming in, the money was flowing. And you wanted to hang out with me, cool. You want to party with me, cool.
Then you got real, decisive on who you're bringing around.
Yeah, then I just, I was just going through stuff. It was just small things just kept happening. Even before that, things just kept happening. I was just like, okay, who is it? Like, is it, is it me? Do I need to
start getting sussed out by people?
You know what I mean? Do I need to sit down and talk to me? And I still didn't learn, right? I still was like, it'll be okay. I got money now, it'll be okay. And then until my back was against the wall, then I had to come out swinging.
Is that when you made the transition to the New York Jets?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about that story. Going from that lesson, how did you transition to the Jets?
Yeah, once I got to New York, it was all cool. I was grinding, right? Training camp everything was smooth. I was there for like a week, right? I was balling. I'm picking up the plays quick. When I got the ball, made plays, whatever. It was cool. I was there for like a real, like legit 6 days, maybe. Broke my foot. I was like, all right. So that's when I started questioning my faith, right? Because I'm a praying man, right? I believe in God. And I started questioning, like, what you trying to tell me, right? And that's when that's when my life was getting real dark, because now I'm out again. Well, as far as like, I got a job still, but I'm not playing. So I started losing them contacts as far as like friends, right? And I was just, I was in a dark place mentally, right? And it was just like, how do you get out of it? Right? What I got to do to get out of it? And it was just still like,
So what did you do to get out of it?
Well, first I had to figure out like what was going on. So like, my cope was drink. I mean,
That could take you into
you know what I
even
mean?
more dark place.
But it was like, it'll take me away from what I was going through right there. I can go out and drink, right? Whatever I was going through, whatever I was feeling, I would cope with, go drink, right? And I had the money to do so, so I was doing it. And it was just like, how you gonna fix this? So I ended up getting out of it. I was rehabbing super hard, right? And once I finally came back, I was seeing this little therapist, and it was like, you're good, foot's healing, right? Fine, blah, blah. So fast forward, I come back. I'm back in New York, and I'm practicing, I'm playing, everything's smooth, and I pull my hamstring. So then I'm back right to where I started, right? And I go back into that hole again, and like I was just sprawling out. I get a DUI. That's when I was like, okay, you gotta figure your life out, cause you just out here forking out money, you trying things, right? And it's not working. And I seen another therapist, whatever, and I was like a sports therapist, where like I had flew to Dallas to get like PRP injections. If you don't know what that is, they were taking blood from they were taking blood from this hamstring, transferring it to this. Hurt, but I figured I needed, right? Just to strengthen up that muscle. And I finally was healthy, but I mentally wasn't. So like I was scared to run as far as like full speed and actually cutting. And it was like, the lady I was seeing was like, you're good. Like, your hamstring is healed. It's mentally is what's messing you up. And once I had got that DUI, I was just like, now it's just, I'm scared for that to come out. I didn't want nobody to know, right? That didn't come out for like months after the situation, right? And then I was fighting that for a year and a half. I was fighting it. And it was bad. And I had got a second chance, and that's when I got a second chance to go to Winnipeg. You know what I mean? And the GM, my general manager now in BC, was the American scout in Winnipeg at the time. So he recruited me. He already knew about the DUI situation. And he called me like, hey, we got this like camp out in Bradenton, Florida, at IMG Academy. And we want to see you. Like, I seen you in New York camp, and I love your speed, seen your tape. Like, you're exactly what we want. And I was like, shit. I haven't played in 2 to 3 years. I've been coming off injuries. I've been coming off of trouble. And I was like, at the time I talked to my agent, he was like, I think it's a great opportunity for you just to show you're healthy, right? And you're out of trouble. Like, your head is back on straight. And I was like, cool. So I didn't care what the offer was. I didn't care how much money they were sending me. I just wanted to play football again.
So was that like the transition to just, cutting everything off and taking it serious from that point?
Once I got the DUI situation, I was just like, all right, we got to reset. We got to figure out what we want to do. Because you got money. Where you want to put it at? You can sit here and keep partying, you don't give a damn attitude, or like we can figure something out. So that's when I started like, okay, I sat down, I was like, I'm going to try to open the gym. And that was cool. I did that. I started just buying equipment. All right, I knew what I needed. All right, so I was doing all this stuff, and it was straight. And I had got that open quick. Money was flowing. It was straight, and I got that. That's when I had got that call, and he was like, "Hey, I'm a scout from Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Like, loved your tape, like everything that we want. Blah blah blah. Tell me about this DUI situation." Went through it. He was like, "Cool. Well, we want to see you come out here." And I was like, "Man, I don't even know nothing about Canadian football, right?" But I started learning. Because it's another chance. I've seen it before. I've told myself before, like, I would love to go try it. I've seen a couple guys that I played with that was over there. So I was always intrigued. And then, once I got out there, it's my first time, like, really back in football running. And I was like...
Now, bro, I've seen you run. I don't even think I can keep up with you even when I'm trying hard. Let me tell you. But real quick, I want to know, do you think it really takes for you to get to that point in your life where you just make a decision and you cut off all the distractions and, the bullshit that most people, engulf themselves in? Do you think it takes for you to hit that low point for you to change your life?
100%. Because you don't want to, I don't know, we all got our choices, right? And like I've seen the highest level of sports, right? I've been there, and to be in that place that I was in mentally was just like, this ain't you, Luck. Right? You always laughing, you always smiling. Life of the party, just trying to, your energy is contagious, right? So for me to just go through that and deal with it, that's where I can be like, hey, when I was telling, I'm trying to inspire those young kids, like, you ain't been through nothing. You feel me? I can tell you a story from any angle and touch on any angle where I could afford it. Like my childhood friend taking my identity. I lost my job, my childhood, my character getting tarnished like that. I got people back home that was like, I seen him at this gas station too, blah, blah. For them to question my character like that, it was tough. You know what I mean? Just to reflect on all of that.
I think it's that mental toughness that you need to go through those kind of, obstacles to shape your character, though.
For sure.
Because I always tell everybody this. I mean, at the end of the day, your mind is the one thing that has the true power to either make you or break you, because ultimately your perception will dictate how you feel. How you feel will dictate how you act, and how you act will determine your results.
For sure.
Right? So, I mean, I think for somebody who hasn't gone through those kind of situations and adversity, right, they don't understand why people decide to commit and actually change their life, right? So they'll look at you and say, oh, it's easy for him to say, but they don't see all the stuff beforehand that you went through to get to that point of mental toughness, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in your opinion, what do you think are, things that you've taken away through all the situations that help you keep that strong mindset and that will and that drive to just do whatever it takes? What do you think were the takeaways from all the situations that shaped your mindset to where it is now?
Yeah, just, I don't want to be in that dark place, right? It's scary, right? Just the thoughts that you can come up with. It was hard, but like I said, that determination that we've been talking about, bro, it's, for myself, I just wanted to, I got people, like I said, that I know that look up to me. right? That tell me, hey, I'm proud of you, right? Just from them knowing what I've been through. And I can talk about this, you know what I mean, all day. Just my story in general, just going on. And you know, I'm a fighter, bro, and you know what I mean, I just don't want to, like I said, I don't want to be in that place again. Right.
So what are some things that you would tell somebody who's in that dark place right now? What would you tell them to help them get through it?
That it's not it, right? It's more to your life, right? It's more to life, right? You can get out of that. You know what I mean? And you gotta want to. Like, we can sit here and help somebody, right? I can sit there and be a mentor to anybody I want to. Take that one bad decision that can ruin it all, right? Take that one good decision that could change your life. And that's from like being just a support system, the people that you surround yourself with.
I think that's huge.
You know what I mean? And I feed off of positive energy, right? Words of affirmation. I feed off of that. So somebody telling me they're proud of me, or somebody just telling me, bro, good job. I'm like, cool. You know what I mean? Same to you. Like,
It's kind of similar with me. I'm just like, as long as I know that, okay, I'm leading by example and somebody was either inspired or touched by it, that's what I get off on. I'm just like, okay, I'm on the right track.
So now I'm in that point where it's like people hit me up for advice. They trying to like, hey, I want to go to the CFL. Cool. You know what I mean? You want to go to CFL because I'm there, or you want to go CFL because you want to, you know what I mean? You want to make an impact when you come, right? And a lot of people ask me, like, how do you like the CFL? I love it.
You think I got what it takes to be in the CFL?
100%.
Maybe in my next lifetime, bro.
For sure, man. Nah, it's like, all you got to do is start training. Do you want to make it? Cool. Get you in the door. The rest is on you.
100%.
You know what I mean? But I'm at that point where, like I said, people are hitting me up for just advice and training tips and blah, blah. And I'm just like, man, look, you're not 25 no more. So you're at that point where people like, hey, can I ask you for this? Right. And I'm just now realizing that. So like, I got to be more open to the fact that, yeah, I can share something with you, bro. I can share some tips with you, blah, blah. And you want to train with me? Cool. We can.
Good luck keeping up, though.
Right? I mean, we're going to grind. So I just love it. Right. And that's a main thing. Right. So once I went back from all that stuff from Dallas and New York and just off the field issues, my first game in the CFL, like my first game, I went off, right? I had a great game. And I was like, man, this is fun. This is fun again. I remember this feeling. And I got that. You got
that sense of fulfillment back.
Got that, man. I got that fire back. And I was like, bro, I love football again, right? Because at a point, I was just like, man, I'm just getting hurt constantly, blah, blah. So when I felt that love again, that passion, it was like, man, it was crazy.
I'm back.
Right. So this season, when I was doing certain things, I was like, yo, you really doing it, kid.
I think, something important to mention to everybody is that, at the end of the day, the whole dwelling factor, most people would dwell, right, through the things that you've been through, right? But when you look back, I think that you got to really think about it like this. Those were lessons. And, at the end of the day, the things that have happened doesn't make who I am, right?
Right.
What I do today from this low point moving forward is going to shape who I become, though.
Right.
Right. And I think that's why it's so critical to hit that low point in your life so that you realize quickly to change your attitude, your behavior, and your mentality so that you can go create what you want.
For sure. A lot of stuff that, like, I didn't want to, but it was happening. I was letting things bottle up. Right.
Well, you don't talk about, you have problems with.
and us as men, we feel like we're vulnerable when we do that, right? And I don't like feeling like that with nobody, right? Nobody.
I'm right there with you.
Bro. So I'm not about to tell you, bro, I'm hurting or I'm going through something. You might notice off my emotions and actions and my energy, right? You might say, hey, what's wrong? I'm still going to tell you nothing. And that's what was happening to me in that point. It was just like, I was just letting it build up, right? And everybody like, oh, you good? Yeah, I'm be straight. Yeah, I'm be straight. Cause we don't want to express or show emotions. And, you know, when you start to, it's like, right? Just that weight drop off your shoulder. And still to this day, it's hard for me to just like express my emotions and tell somebody how I'm feeling without just reacting. And that's something that I'm still growing with myself as far as off the field and just growing.
I think that's a huge portion of it, though. Most men feel like they can't talk about what they're going through, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, you know, if you're trying to make impact, you got to be able to tell your story because your mess is your message, right? You know, I was talking with, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Evan Carmichael. He's a major YouTuber out of Canada, actually.
I think I heard of the name.
But I was talking with him one night and he told me this quote, and it stuck with me forever. He told me that your ruin is your gift to give back to the world. And what he meant by that was what ruins you and puts you in an all-time low and you get through it is ultimately your gift to go seek out other individuals going through a similar situation and help them get through it.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, like, when you're in a position like where you are, where you're trying to make impact, I think that it takes actually courage to go out there and share your story because it is filled with emotions, right? But at the end of the day, storytelling has emotions within it because that's the way that people relate to you.
Right.
They feel like they're not alone. And I think that's how you make change.
Yeah.
So,
like,
bro, I mean, I can go deep with you if you want.
I already know, man. That's,
you know?
Yeah, it's I guess something that I need to just continue to grow with. I mean, even if it's something small, right? I guess that should be how I start. But in general, just stop letting things bottle up, because then you're expressing it the wrong way on somebody that had nothing to do with what you got going on or what you're
100%.
dealing with. And I just feel like we all, as individuals, just need to be stronger and be like, hey. Because like you just said, somebody might be going through the same exact situation. And then y'all can just feed off each other. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, that energy just come together and you be stronger, I guess. But
100%. I'm right there with you, bro. So let me ask you this, to end all this off, right? Being the highest paid wide receiver in the CFL right now, what's next for Lucky Whitehead?
Yeah. First, I'm definitely not going to be complacent, right? We always want more, and you know, I know that's going to come with a lot more work, right? Me being the highest paid, because me in this position last 6 months ago, whatever, I wanted to be right the highest paid. Somebody was already being paid higher than me, right? So somebody's chasing me, right? Somebody wants to be better than Lucky Whitehead. And, you know, I gotta set the standard, right? I gotta set the bar. Obviously, my team believed in me to pay me that. Show them why. And then after that, as far as my football, that'll come. But like after, like I said, we was talking, man, I want to get into like coaching. Like I said, it's for the youth, and I definitely want. I don't know the extent of it. As far as like, do I want to be a head coach? Am I ready for that? Right? Do I want to go learn first? Do I want to be in college? Do I want to do high school? Do I want to do little league football? Right? It's just so many options, and I'm lucky enough to have great mentors as far as the coaches that I've been around. Me and you gonna dive into some things, man.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna dive into some things, man. Try to figure some things out, and Lucky's just gonna definitely continue to grow as a person, man, as a man.
So you guys thought this was a comeback. Just wait.
Oh man,
just wait. There's more to the story.
Yeah, no, it's definitely growing, man, and I'm growing. You know what I mean? I'm so grateful to just be here and just chop it up with you and just express my story, because it's like I can talk about this all day, and it's like I was just throwing out spits and you know what I mean, but like we
Bro,
can,
I'm grateful for the spits, bro.
yeah,
Trust me, like,
yeah,
so.
we can always, I mean, just let's talk it up about, you know what I mean, life, and just because it's not just like it's football, right? But it's really like real life lessons for myself.
100%.
You know what I mean, for like the past since 2015, obviously that's when things got a little more serious, right? So, until now, like I've seen everything, I've done everything. I'm just like, so like if I could stop another 21-year-old kid from even touching on that surface, I want to help him and do so.
Bro, I want to work with you to help on that mission. Trust me. So, but yeah, bro, honestly, I'm grateful to have you. We got to do part 2.
For
So
sure.
you're definitely going to come back.
Yeah.
Don't think I'm going to leave you hanging after this. So, bro, once again, I do appreciate you. And you guys heard it here. Lucky Whitehead. He's coming up even more. Trust me.
Yes, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, bro.
No doubt.
I appreciate it, bro. Honestly.